My name is Kayode Omoregie of the Lagos Business School, Pan Atlantic University. I am a fellow and a senior lecturer in finance. I'm also the academic director for the International Management Program. We're here at the University of Stellenbosch Business School to offer our participants an opportunity to learn about doing business in Southern Africa. The primary objective of the IMP program for the Lagos Business School is basically to give Nigerian entrepreneurs, and top-level business executives who are thinking of taking their businesses out of Nigeria into other parts of Africa the opportunity to learn to acquire the skills on how to dimension opportunities in Africa and put together a strategy and an operating plan for actually achieving that objective. And that's what we're trying to do with this program. Now, one of the reasons why we have decided to partner with the University of Stellenbosch Business School and why we're here in South Africa is simply because we know for a fact that USB is one of the very best schools in South Africa with deep knowledge and expertise about doing business in Southern Africa. We've also had the history of doing some businesses with them, working with the USB in the past, and the experience have been quite positive. And so we're here again. The IMP is structured in such a way that our delegates have the opportunity not only to visit University of Stellenbosch Business School, but also to visit another school in Singapore, the Nanyang Business School, the University of Nanyang Business School in Singapore. We've just come from a visit from there in December last year, and it was also quite positive. The primary reason for choosing Singapore is simply because some 40 years, 50 years ago, to a large extent, Singapore and a number of countries in Africa, Nigeria being one of them, were pretty much on the same level in terms of their development phase and aspirations. But within a period of 50 years or so, we find out that Singapore has been able to take its country and its businesses from third world status to first world. So the idea is, what do we have to learn? What can our business people learn, from the experience of the Singaporeans, and how can they translate that into doing business in Africa? And again, like I said, the reason for being here at the USB is because even though South Africa and Nigeria today, the biggest economies in Africa, accounting for about 50% of GDP, we find out that to a large extent, the businesses in South Africa are somewhat more sophisticated. They have achieved more international posturing than businesses in Nigeria. And so we're asking ourselves a simple question: what can we also learn from the South Africans about how they've been able to take their businesses, to the international space? That's what we're trying to expose them to. Well, it's a very diverse group. It's a very, very diverse group. They come from the banking industry, they come from financial services, they come from the IT sector, they come from agric, and they come from microcredit and microfinance, those who are tending to raise funds and channel those funds to the micro sectors of the economy. So they fall into that category. But one of the common denominator for all of them is very simple. They all intend to take their businesses away from Nigeria into other parts of Africa. And that's why they're all here.